Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Giggity, real name is Lamarcus, and in today's video, we're going to be ranking all games that I have played for the first time on this channel since I've started this channel, from worst to best. Obviously, you guys know that this channel was purposely built for me to try new games. I've been a Call of Duty competitive online gamer for 15 years of my life, and I really wanted to start branching out, so I made the channel to kind of force me to do that. In that time period, in the past couple of months, I've tried around 25 new, well, not around, I have tried 25 new games that I've never played before. So today, and every time at the end of the videos, for those who don't know, whenever I play a new game, I give it a number rating out of 10 based off the first 2.5 hours of gameplay that I had while playing the game. And then I write it down to a little bit of a Google Drive document here and just kind of kept track of the games I've played and their ratings. And so today I'm going to go over those games, just kind of do a little bit of a recap and just talk about where we're at with the games that we have played so far and what I think of them. Sound good? Okay, sounds good. So I guess without further ado, let's get right into it with number 25, and in my opinion, my least favorite game of all the games that I've played on this channel. And that is going to be going to Blue Prince. Blue Prince gave a 3.5 out of 10 to, which is pretty far below average. Obviously, in my opinion, average is 5 out of 10. Plain and simple, like 5 out of 10 isn't, it's not like a school rating where like you get a 50 out of 100 and you get an F. No, a 5 out of 10 is average. It's right there, bang average. And Blue Prince obviously gets a 3.5 out of 10, which is below average. However, I will say this, I said it in the Blue Prince video, and I'll say it again today, it's just not my style. Plain and simple, it's just not my speed. This is not the type of game that I like. This is not the type of game that I was looking for. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I had no idea what Blue Prince was going into it. I just kind of bought it because I saw it in a Game Ranks video and they were talking about it. And so I was like, sure, I'll try it for the channel. Why not? And that's exactly what I wanted to do for the channel. I'm not mad that I played Blue Prince. I'm not mad that I spent the money on Blue Prince to try it. I just didn't like it that much. If you like puzzle games though, if you like that stuff, this is probably one of your favorite games of all time. It's probably one of your favorite games ever created. It's just not my speed, plain and simple. And honestly, number 24 is the same way. 24th place, the second worst game that I've tried on the channel so far, is going to Fishing Planet. I gave Fishing Planet a 4 out of 10. Again, just not my speed. Just same thing with Blue Prince. If I wanted to go fishing, I would just go fishing. I'm lucky enough to live somewhere where I can go fishing whenever I want to, pretty much, as long as it's summertime, obviously. And yeah, I just feel like it's kind of boring to sit there playing a fishing game when fishing itself isn't obviously the most entertaining activity to do. You're just kind of like, now you're virtualizing that. I don't know, I just thought it was boring for me personally, but obviously if you're really into fishing, if you're a big fishing kind of guy, this is probably an incredible game for you. Coming in at 23rd place, however, is the first game on this entire list where it has a below average rating because I think there are actual problems with the game, not just because I personally didn't really like it that much. Insurgency Sandstorm. Insurgency Sandstorm I gave a 4.2 out of 10 to. This is a multiplayer game. This is an online game. It's a very realistic war style game. Guns have insane amounts of recoil. You die in 2 or 3 bullets. It's a very realistic style game. There's no hit markers or XP popping up on your screen when you kill somebody. You gotta have to go look to make sure they did. But here's the biggest downside to that. Insurgency Sandstorm has a couple of guns that are just absolutely broken, plain and simple. Like obviously every game has like a meta. Every online game has a meta. Insurgency Sandstorm has a meta to the point where it's like you can't even use the other guns and be competitive at all, even if you're a good player. On top of all of that, the biggest problem with Insurgency Sandstorm, in my opinion, and it's hands down a serious issue that they need to address in their game, the sound. I remember I was complaining about the sound in this game. I couldn't hear the enemies for the life of me. I had no idea where they were coming from. If they were in front of me, behind me, to the right, to the left of me, no idea. I was complaining about it a lot, and I was like worried when I uploaded the video. I was like, great, people are gonna hate me on this. They're gonna be like, the sound is great. And actually, to my surprise, most of the Insurgency Sandstorm player base that ended up watching my video agreed with me that the sound needs to be reworked in the game, and I 100% agree with that. If they worked on the sound and the sound was more predictable to see where your opponents are coming from based on the sound, it would easily go up to at least a 5 out of 10. And coming in at 22nd place is one of the first games I tried on this channel, because right when I started the channel is when this game came out pretty much. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, the multiplayer specifically. I have not played the campaign yet, and I really don't want to be honest. I did play the zombies. I didn't make a video trying that for the first time though, and that's fine. The zombies is fine. It's pretty, I would say it's above average for Call of Duties, but definitely not like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 4, Infinite Warfare standards in terms of zombies. But the multiplayer I gave a 5 out of 10 to. I think it's literally bang average. I don't hate it, I don't love it, and I'm a COD guy, you know. Most of Call of Duties I would give above that average because I do like Call of Duty. It's my style. It's what I like playing. I still play Call of Duty. Like, I'm never gonna not play it, you know. I wanted to branch out and try new things. Sure, but that's not me saying I was gonna stop playing COD, you know what I mean? I'm still gonna play Call of Duty. I still like the franchise. But Black Ops 7, yeah, it's fine. It's average. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad that it exists. I'm not angry that Black Ops 7's multiplayer is there. It's not a bad Call of Duty multiplayer, but it's definitely not a great one either. I think it's just a bang average one. And coming in at 21st place, barely missing out on the top 20 here, is going to be going to Alan Wake. Yeah, Alan Wake is a scary game, actually. Did not know that going into it. That I gave a 5.5 out of 10 to. Very, very ever so slightly above average, obviously. Ever so slightly above average. And the reason why is because it's got a cool little premise, and I do like the story behind it. I will say, after just 2 hours of playing this game, I was hooked on the story. I wanted to know what happened with Alan himself. It seemed like he hit his head in the crash and was going through like freaking psychosis or something, and like forgetting what happened or whatever it may be. I was excited. I was interested to see that. However, the gameplay is not good. Plain and simple, it's not good. You have to like shine a flashlight on opponents, and then you got to shoot the opponents after you break their darkness or something in order to kill them. It gets repetitive within the first 2 hours of gameplay. I can only imagine how this game feels after like 7 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours of playing the game. Like, good God, I was so bored of just aiming a flashlight at opponents and shooting them when they burst. Like, it was the same thing every 10 seconds. It was so annoying. But the story was good here. And coming in at 20th place, I have adjusted my ranking on for a couple of times now, because at first, when I first played it, I really did not like it that much. War Thunder Tanks, I have it a 5.6 out of 10. Again, ever so slightly above average in my opinion, and I think that's where it's going to stay now, because when I made the video and I uploaded the video, I had it at like below a 5 out of 10 because I really didn't like it, because it felt random. It felt like there was like RNG based hits in the game. But then the comments taught me how the game goes, and I learned, okay, I was just not playing it correctly. I just wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. However, at the end of the day, I still think War Thunder Tanks is very slow paced for me. Again, I'm a COD player, and you can hate on me as much as you want. You could say Call of Duty player just turns off his brain and goes stupid AWOL, blah blah blah. You could say that as much as you want, man. And to be honest, you're right, but that's how I am. I like the faster paced stuff, and War Thunder Tanks is a very, very slow paced game mode. If I'm going to play War Thunder, which I still do every once in a while, I'm not even joking, I still do, because of the planes. It's much more faster paced, and I really enjoy it. And coming in at 19th place is the official first ever game that we decided to try on this channel ever. The first game I tried, so I have a special place in my heart for that. Dying Light. Dying Light, I gave a 6.5 out of 10 to. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. You know, I had a good amount of time playing it. I played it for a couple more episodes after the first episode. I enjoyed it. At the time when I made the channel, I thought it was going to be a full-blown Let's Play channel. I just changed my mind on that and decided it was going to be a channel where I just try new games. That's the main purpose. I still do Let's Plays, obviously, on games that I really enjoy, but I don't like force myself to play the other ones that I don't really enjoy, and that's Dying Light for me. I had a good time. I thought it was really cool. Obviously, the premise of using parkour to kill zombies was pretty cool. I enjoyed it, but the biggest downside to Dying Light is the story doesn't hook you at all. I couldn't care less about the characters in the story. As a matter of fact, one of the first things you do in the story is you're looking for this medicine for this tower, and you get some of the medicine, and then like this person on the radio tells you not to give the medicine to the tower, and you listen to him. Why? Why would you listen to? Why would you just not listen to them? They don't know. They have no way of telling whether or not you gave the medicine to the tower. It's the dumbest thing ever. Coming in at 18th place is, when I first started the channel, one of the games I very first ever played, Routine. Routine is another horror game, and it came out like right after I started the channel, and I was like, perfect, new game that came out that was getting a little bit of press, getting a little bit of buzz, you know what I mean? So I was like, sure, let's try it out. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea what the game was, and it was another horror game. So I gave it a 6.8 out of 10. I think it was a decent horror game, but I don't think there's ever going to be a horror game that I play that's going to get like above an 8 out of 10. I just don't see how that's possible. Like, I don't like horror games. I don't really enjoy them that much, and that's how I felt about Routine. It just stresses me out, man. Like, I'm already stressed out enough. I don't need to play a video. Like, when you're playing a video game, you're supposed to use that to de-stress, to relax. Routine, I'm just freaking on the edge of my seat the entire time, hopefully not dying to a robot. It was obviously a good horror game. If you like horror games, you should probably give it a try, but I'm not the biggest horror fan. And coming in at 17th place is going to be going to Fallout 3. Fallout 3, I gave a 7.2 out of 10 to. I'm gonna be honest, this game I played for around 2.5 hours, 2 hours 45 minutes, around that time, obviously, like I always do. It has the longest tutorial of any video game I think I've ever played in my life. Almost the entire 2.5 hours was just me trying to figure out how to freaking go do stuff. Like holy moly, it was such a long freaking tutorial. And I'm gonna be honest, man, the tutorial is not that gripping. Like, it's not the most fun tutorial out there. And then on top of all that, the graphics were a little bit bad. Here's the reason why I'm giving it a 7.2 out of 10, though. It probably sounds like I'm bashing on the game. I still have it as a 7.2 out of 10, so I obviously still enjoy it. And that's because, again, I do feel like the open world was awesome. And once I finally got out there and got to go do some things, it felt really cool. But it took so damn long. Coming in at 16th place, however, he's going to be going to Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy is a Harry Potter game, obviously, because it's Hogwarts that I was about to say, I think you play as Harry Potter. You do not play as Harry Potter. You just play as some random dude, I guess. I give it a 7.3 out of 10, though. Here, Hogwarts Legacy was fine. It just kind of felt like it was going to be just like another one of those basic games where there's like nothing really special going on, which is sad. Another thing that I really didn't like about Hogwarts Legacy that I complained about in the video when I was playing the game is it felt like they were like trying to like keep it PG, and it's like, come on, bro, you could have made a really cool video game based around like Hogwarts, like with monsters and demons and scary stuff and stuff like that. It would have been cool to see like them go full bore with it, but it just kind of wasn't, I feel like. And coming in at 15th place, we just recently finished this game actually on the channel as a full-blown playthrough, because obviously you guys know we're doing our full Dark Souls playthrough. We played through all of Dark Souls 1, then we did all of Dark Souls 2, and now we're on Dark Souls 3 currently as we speak. But 15th place is Dark Souls 2. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Easily the weakest of the three so far. Again, I'm not done with Dark Souls 3 yet, but so far it's definitely a lot better than Dark Souls 2. I don't see how it's going to get below a 7.5 out of 10. And Dark Souls 2, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was still hooked on it. I mean, Dark Souls just has that feeling with you know what I mean? It manages to do that. I don't know how they do it, but they just do. They manage to addict you with their gameplay. But Dark Souls 2 is just man, it's got to be the worst of the three. It really does. And, like I tried going into this with being like, oh no, you know, everyone was telling me it's the worst of the three. I tried going into Dark Souls 2 being like, no, I'm just gonna go into it unbiased, but no, they were kind of right, man. It's just like, so I don't even know how to really describe why it's worse. It just is. It just doesn't feel as special as Dark Souls 1 or 3 does. Coming in at 14th place, however, is the Game of the Year last year of 2025. Game of the Year. Everyone was talking about it, going crazy about it. One of the first games, well, actually the first game that really popped off on my channel and managed, most of you guys probably know me from this game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I gave it a 7.8 out of 10 too, and everything about the game is incredible, plain and simple, besides the fighting style, the combat style, the turn-based combat is what they're calling it. Yeah, that's it. And I know people are going to be like, well, that's a stupid thing to hate on, just because you don't understand turn-based combat, you don't like it. Yeah, plain and simple, yeah, man, it's my opinion. I don't like turn-based combat. I don't like games with it in there, and that's why I don't have Clair Obscur Expedition 33 any higher than 7.8 out of 10. Everything else about the game was awesome. The exploration was really fun. The story was absolutely addicting. It was one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen in my entire life. But the combat just ruined it for me. I would have loved this game. I would have understood totally why it was a Game of the Year if it just had if it had like Dark Souls combat, that would have been awesome. And coming in at 13th place, almost at 3rd place for some reason, 13th place is going to be going to Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders I gave a 7.8 out of 10 to, just like I gave Clair Obscur Expedition 33 a 7.8 out of 10 to. The only reason why I put Arc Raiders one spot higher, even though they're technically tied, is I think I personally would rather go back and play Arc Raiders again, but ever since that day that I did play Arc Raiders, I haven't gone back and played it again. It was fine though. I understand why people like looter shooters or whatever they're called, where you go in, you loot a bunch of stuff, then you leave, and, you know, I get it, especially with the added bonus of like proximity chat and being able to talk to other people in the world. That's super cool, obviously. That's just not my style. I like, here's my thing. When I play like an online competitive game, I like to see like a victory pop up on my screen or some sort of like ranking system and stuff like that. So you can just see where you are and get better and progress through the game that way. And, you know, you can call me, again, a COD kid all you want. At this point, I'm owning up to it. I am a COD kid. But that's what I like. And Arc Raiders doesn't really have that. Doesn't really scratch that itch for me. Still really good though, and again, I totally understand why this game went crazy with people. I have it a 7 out of 8 out of 10, or 7.8 out of 10. 12th place, and actually as a matter of fact, for 12th, 11th, 10th, and 9th place, they're all tied at 8 out of 10 exactly. That's right. The next 4 games, I pretty much think of them are all around the exact same area. 12th place is... Excuse me, that was gross. Terraria, whatever it may be. I liked Terraria. It got some pretty good views too. You guys seem to enjoy me trying it out for the first time or whatever. I enjoyed it. The only real downside to Terraria, and Jesus, man, I'm burping like a storm right now. I'm so sorry. The only real downside to it, and the only real reason why it's not going to get any higher than an 8 out of 10 and not be like a perfect game, even though, again, obviously I don't think there's any game that's really perfect. It's plain and simple, just, I think Minecraft is better. I'd rather just play Minecraft. 11th place, another one of the 8 out of 10 games. Obviously, like I said, there's 4 of them that got an 8 out of 10. 4-way tie here for the number 9 spot. But 11th place is Outer Wilds. 8 out of 10. Yeah, yet again. Everything about the game was super cool. It's an exploration style game. You go around and explore a bunch of planets in this weird solar system area. And you obviously are trying to figure out some sort of discovery here. I forget what exactly it was. I guess some ancient civilization or something. You're trying to figure out what they were doing. I don't know. Something along those lines. It was fun, man. Like uncovering new stuff and realizing certain things in Outer Wilds made the game feel very, very special and very, very, unlike anything else I've played, to be fair. It was really cool. The only reason why it's like not awesome and not like higher than 8 out of 10, I guess it would just kind of just be the way it's like, yeah, it feels cool to discover all this new stuff, but it kind of gets old fast, I would say. And coming in at 10th place, Cyberpunk 2077, another one of the 8 out of 10 games, another one of the 4-way ties here. This one also did good in terms of its views. It got around the same as Clear Obscure Expedition 33 did. Also released these videos pretty much back to back, so that was pretty cool. Nonetheless, Cyberpunk 2077, 8 out of 10, like I said. It is a very interesting world they managed to build. I love the world that they built in Cyberpunk 2077. The only reason why it's not going to get any higher is if I'm going to play an open world shooter game, steal cars, go do a bunch of crime style game, I'm just going to play GTA. Like, I really find it hard to, like, argue that this game is overall better than Grand Theft Auto. Again, GTA 5 is just, I just think just better personally, but still really good though. And yeah, coming in at 9th place, here it is. I told you guys earlier that when we were talking about War Thunder tanks, that I do still every once in a while play War Thunder, and that's because of War Thunder planes. I gave an 8 out of 10 to. Of all the 8 out of 10 ones, this one I actually have gone back and played on my own time a couple of times here and there. Where I haven't done that with Cyberpunk 2077, Outer Wilds, or Terraria, I have done it a couple of times now with War Thunder planes. So I like it the best of the 4, even though I give it an 8 out of 10, just like all the others. I think the real reason why I've gone back and played it, though, is obviously it scratches that Call of Duty player itch, where it is a online competitive game that you win or lose games, you can get kills and kill each other and rank up and things like that, which is obviously what I enjoy, like I said multiple times now. But it was a special game, man. There's a lot to learn here, though. It is a very difficult game to learn, to just pick up as a new player and just start playing. And, yeah. Also, I think the respawn, I get why they do it, but I think the respawns in War Thunder planes are just way too far away from the action. Like, man, it takes you like 15 years to get back to the action sometimes. Coming in at 8th place, however, is the only racing game on the entire channel so far, which, don't you worry, don't you fret, pal, is going to change, because I like racing games, I love cars, and I want to try some new ones here and there, so every once in a while we're definitely going to try some new racing games. But Midnight Club Los Angeles, or Midnight Club LA, which I have at 8.2 out of 10 to. I loved this game. I thought it was a really, really good time, and I have actually played this game pretty much every game from here on out, as a matter of fact. Besides 2, I played again because of playing it the first time because of this channel, if that makes any sense. Midnight Club LA is one of those. I never finished the game or anything like that. I probably only played it like another 3 or 4 hours afterwards, but I still did, and I really had a good time playing the game. I like racing games, so I kind of knew I would like it already a little bit, but it was really fun. Is it like a competitor to like Forza? No, but that's because it's just so old. If they managed to like make like a 2026 equivalent of Midnight Club LA, like with modern graphics and modern, limitations that games have nowadays, I think it could compete with Forza all day, every day. Coming in at 7th place, I cannot describe why this game was so fun. DayZ. 7th place, DayZ, I gave it 8.3 out of 10 to. I really enjoyed this game. It was weird. It doesn't feel like the type of game that I would enjoy. As a Call of Duty player, it doesn't make much sense why I would enjoy such a slow-paced game. As a matter of fact, in the entire 2.5 hours long gameplay that we played DayZ 4, I'm pretty sure I didn't run into a single real opponent the entire time. I was just running around the entire time. I'm not joking. The entire time trying to figure out how to even get food. I couldn't get food for the life of me. Towards the end of the video, I finally figured out how to plant zucchini and managed to get zucchini, but that was it. And then even then, yeah, I got food, but now I was dying of cold and thirst and all this other crap. It's very complex, very hard to get the hang of, but it was addicting. And I have gone back and played DayZ a couple of times with my buddies since then, and they've taught me a couple of things here and there. And overall, it's a really fun game. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm happy I gave it an 8.3 out of 10 after the first day, because I agree with that statement. And here it is. Unfortunately, at the time of making this video, and at the time this video is going live, you guys haven't seen my video of me playing this game, so a little bit of a spoiler alert, but 6th place is going to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This is going to be this week's new game that we tried. It's probably going to be uploaded on either Thursday or Friday. I have it at the editor right now, but at the time of recording this video, I've already played it. I already gave it a rating. It's just that you guys haven't seen it, so a little bit of a spoiler, but I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Man, this game was awesome, and I'm going to be honest, man, the only thing that could have made this game even better is if it had a little bit more fantasy aspects of it. This game is very realistic. It's like, it reminds me of like Dark Souls or Skyrim or something, like a medieval setting game, but without any of like the dragons or the zombies or the undead creatures walking around or giant land monsters, you know what I mean? Like, it's just real. It's just real life, like medieval time, but man, it was fun. Again, you guys haven't seen this yet, so I'm spoiling it a little bit, so sorry if you guys are upset about this, but I didn't even really get to like the main part of the game. I was just like doing things where like it was pretty much just story-based things, like just talking for most of my gameplay, and I was hooked. I was hooked on every bit of dialogue in the game, learning about every single thing, and they don't hold any punches, man. They full blown just like kill people. Like, oh man, it was a good game. I really enjoyed it a lot. 8.5 out of 10. I definitely would be down to do like a full playthrough on this game or something in the future. And coming in at 5th place is the most recent new game that we've tried on this channel. We tried it last Friday, a couple days ago now at this point. I played it like a week ago, but you guys saw it last Friday. Skyrim. Skyrim I have an 8.7 out of 10. It reminds me of like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Slightly worse graphics, but it seems like there's slightly more stuff to do, if that makes any sense. Like Skyrim doesn't, I feel like if Skyrim, if they made like a new Skyrim, like in Elder Scrolls, I think Skyrim is the 5th one or the 4th one. I can't remember. Elder Scrolls 4 or 5, whatever. They made the next one. I feel like it would be a game-breaking game because Skyrim's main problem, I just feel like, is just like when it was built. Like it was built in what, 2010, 2011 around? No, 2011. Yeah, because it came out on that weird, that 11/11/11. So yeah, 2011 is when this game came out, and that's the biggest downside. It just kind of feels like clunky in some moments. It doesn't feel like smooth like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 does. It feels kind of clunky and just like old. It just feels old, and the graphics kind of also show that. But man, it was, everything else about it, this game had me freaking hooked. Dialogue was super cool. I got to this town, Riverwood, in my gameplay. I wanted to stay in that town forever and just learn everything about the little struggles in that little town. It was so cool to just learn about these things in the game. Skyrim is like, I'm on to the next one now, but Skyrim is like one of those worlds where you can literally like replace it with the real world and you'd be fine. Like that's how in-depth Skyrim felt. Either way, 4th place is GTA 4. We have it at an 8.8 out of 10, ever so slightly above Skyrim. Man, this game was good. I was not expecting me to like it this much at all. One of the most surprising ones for sure on the list. I would say Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was probably the most surprising game of the entire list with how much I enjoyed that game. I did not know anything about it going into it whatsoever, barely even heard of it before, and was just so mind-blown at how good it was. But GTA 4, I had thought, I'm gonna be honest, I had already played GTA 5 going into GTA 4, and I thought I was not going to like it at all because it was just going to be too old and just too outdated, and GTA 5 was just going to be a better version of it. That's what I thought in my mind. I thought GTA 5 was just gonna be better. I was right, I think. I do still think GTA 5 is the overall better game, but that doesn't mean that GTA 4 isn't good. There's still it's still really fun, and it kind of makes sense because it's like Call of Duty, where like, again, no, everyone's gonna hate me, everyone's gonna rip my tongue out of my mouth for saying this, but the cold hard truth is, there's just so much more content, so much better graphics, so much better movement, so much better hit registration, and things like that in a new Call of Duty when you compare it to like a OG Black Ops 2, MW3, Black Ops 1, MW2 Call of Duty. They're overall the better game, hands down, but that doesn't mean that there's not. That means the old games are bad. The old games are still incredible, super fun to play, still great games. They're just not as good and refreshed and refined as the new ones. And that's how I feel with GTA 4. It was super fun, and yeah. And coming in at 3rd place is the game we're currently playing right now on the channel as we speak, Dark Souls 3. So I haven't finished this game, but I haven't finished any game on this channel besides 3 of them, so it's okay. And I have it currently at a 9.0 out of 10. I think after the first day I had it at like a 9.1 out of 10, and I dropped off a point because of that Fair and Keep area. I fucking hated that area, but nonetheless, Dark Souls 3 is really fun, really addicting. It does solve one of the biggest problems with Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 that I had, which is how clunky the movement and graphics just felt. Dark Souls 3 is obviously the newest of the bunch, and so because of that, it just feels so much more smooth, and damn, the combat feels good in this game. The bosses are sick, they're super cool. The only reason I'm not putting it any higher than the original Dark Souls is for 2 reasons. One, I feel like I just kind of have a special place in my heart with the original Dark Souls since it was the first one I tried of the 3 Dark Souls games. Obviously, Elden Ring was the first one I did try, but you get what I'm saying. It just has like a special place in my heart. And 2, the exploration in Dark Souls 3 feels nowhere near as good as the exploration in Dark Souls 2 and 1. It's very like you have one path you can go on in Dark Souls 3, and that is absolutely it. Which I thought I hated in the original Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. I thought I couldn't stand the fact that I had to keep in mind that there were other things I had to go do. But now that it's not there, I kind of miss it. And coming in at 2nd place is the original Dark Souls. Now, well, not really the original because I played the remastered one, but yeah, Dark Souls 1. I have it at a 9.3 out of 10. Okay, there's a little bit of a personal bias here just because it was the first one I played of the 3. And if anyone's wondering, by the way, where I would rank Elden Ring on my like grand scheme of like rating out of 10, I give it a 9.4 out of 10. I think that one's slightly better, but I don't even know if the game is actually better. I think it's just probably because Elden Ring was the first of this genre that I ever even decided to play. And so it just has a special place in my heart, just like how Dark Souls 1 here has a special place in my heart compared to Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3, because it's the first one I played of the 3. I don't know, there was just something special about this game, man, that, yeah, I still feel that feeling of like, man, I really want to go play some Dark Souls right now with Dark Souls 3, but it was nowhere near as heavy as Dark Souls 1. I remember when I was playing Dark Souls 1, man, I would upload Dark Souls every single day. And I just, like, I was trying so hard to, like, throw in these new games, but I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself away from playing Dark Souls 1. I would think about it at night, think about what was going to happen, and think about what I could do and what I forgot to do, or blah, blah, blah. And Dark Souls 3, while I still love that game, and that still happens here and there every once in a while for sure, like tomorrow we're probably playing Dark Souls 3, just a fair warning. It doesn't hit the same as Dark Souls 1 did. It was special. It really was. But easily first place, my favorite game I've played on the channel so far. The only game that I've played on this channel so far where I actually full-blown went through and finished it off camera and just spent tons of hours, countless hours, 8 hours a day playing it after I started it. Red Dead Redemption 2. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. This was the second game we ever even tried on the channel. We tried Dying Light first. Oh, well, no, we tried Fishing Planet first, and then Dying Light, and then Red Dead Redemption 2 on this channel. That's how it worked for the very beginning of my channel. And I'm going to be totally brutally honest with you guys. When I went into Red Dead Redemption 2, I thought for sure I was not going to like it as much as everyone was saying online. I thought it was 100% going to be overrated. I thought people were going to be just talking about it, like trying to fit in, right? That's how people get when it comes to media and stuff. They just want to feel like everybody else, so they all end up flocking towards the same thing. And that's what I thought Red Dead Redemption 2 was going to be. Boy, was I wrong. It was, plain and simple, incredible. Just as good as everybody was saying online. I was hooked on this game after I mean, I couldn't put it down. It is so slow paced, but the story is better than most TV shows, better than most movies. The story in Red Dead Redemption 2 is flawless. It is plain and simply perfect. As perfect as a video game can get. It is easily my favorite story game I've ever played. I think Elden Ring again is right behind it at a 9.4 out of 10, but easily this one beats it at a 9.5 out of 10. Personally, I don't think it's possible for a video game to ever get a 10 out of 10. I mean, how can that be possible? You know what I mean? No game is literally perfect. But this is as close as a story game's gonna get, I feel like. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe there's a game out there hiding under the sun somewhere that I still haven't tried. You guys have a bunch of recommendations of games you want to see me play. Maybe one of those games is gonna somehow beat Red Dead Redemption 2 and get higher than a 9.5 out of 10. But I don't see how that's possible, man. This was so much fun. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of the updated list of the games that I have played and ranked so far on this channel. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos I'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo. And yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow's video, like I said in the video, is probably going to be the next Dark Souls 3 Let's Play. The video after that on Wednesday is probably going to be trying a new game, but not the edited version. I want to do 2 new games a week, and I want to do 1 edited and 1 unedited. And the one that's going to be unedited is the one that I think is going to get less views probably. So things like racing games that I want to try, we'll do those on the unedited days. But just because, again, the whole point of the channel was to try new games, and I feel like I'm kind of not doing that as often as I wanted to. So I kind of want to start doing that again a little bit more. And cut back on the like full-blown Let's Plays a little bit here, because again, this kind of was never the whole point of the channel. It just kind of got that way with Dark Souls. I just really was like addicted to finishing Dark Souls, and I really enjoyed the way that the community would help walk me through the games, that I just kept uploading every part of it. So I do want to get back to just the whole point of the channel being trying new games, even if that means not uploading every day. Eventually, after we finish Dark Souls 3, I think that's what we're going to do. And then eventually, once we get to a point where if the channel makes me enough money, obviously, I can hire an editor to do more edits per week and stuff like that. Right now, we can only do 1 per week. Don't make that much money. But again, if it ever gets to a point where it's making me a ton of money and I can afford to pay an editor every day, then obviously we can do full-blown Let's Plays and stuff like that with all the boring parts edited out every single day. But yeah, that's my plan so far, is what I'm trying to say. Tomorrow's my birthday too, by the way, guys. I know, random fun fact, but April 14th, best day of the year right there, man. 26 years old, can't wait. But yeah, we're gonna be uploading tomorrow some Dark Souls 3. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, man. I don't really know, I have much else to say. Again, we'll do an edited update on this, on like the games I've played on the channel and their rankings and everything like that every once in a while. I just don't want to do it super often, like every other freaking week. That'd just be pointless, I feel like. So maybe every like 20 or so new games that we try, we'll do an updated video on what we're thinking there. And also eventually I want to get to a point where we are recording it at like live streaming it with like a face cam and everything, and then we're editing it every day, if that makes any sense, and uploading the edits every day, like almost like stream highlights, but every single day. That'd be great. That's my end goal, I guess you can say. But again, that takes money, and unfortunately I just don't have the funds to do that right now, so I hope you guys can bear with me on that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.